Hello and welcome to the Wednesday reading update, the day of the week where I update you on the millions of books that I'm currently reading. Editing Brittany here, popping in just to say, oops, I accidentally filmed this video in the portrait orientation. I thought I was going to be able to keep my thoughts brief enough to keep it under 3 minutes for a YouTube short, but somehow I just kept on chatting. So next time we'll have it in the proper orientation, but enjoy my weekly update. So currently I am reading 5 books, but I've only touched 3 of them so far this month. Last night I started Burning Daylight by Emily McIntyre. This is the very first book in the Defying the Stars series, which is a series of retellings. Overall, I am enjoying myself. It's reading relatively quickly. I'm already at the 25% mark. Overall, really enjoying the banter back and forth between Julia and Roman, and it's promising to be quite a smutty time. Overall, I do find Emily McIntyre is quite the queen of retellings. Not too sure at this point if this is going to end up being a series of interconnected standalones, as no blurbs have been released yet, at least for the second book, since this book just came out last week or a week or so ago. So very interested in seeing that. I do tend to like series of interconnected standalones a little bit more than just like a series of completely separate books like her previous series, the Never After series was. But another book that I am currently reading, but I actually haven't touched yet this month, is Dracula. I've been reading this book since May as part of Dracula Daily. At this point, I'm kind of rating my experience 2.5 to 3 stars. Having it kind of split over this long period of time is just probably not something I am enjoying, at least for kind of a first read through. I'm also kind of kicking myself in the pants for not reading some kind of summary or having a better idea of the arc of the story going into it, as I'm finding a little bit of a language barrier gap. Not really language barrier, it's just not, it doesn't read as a modern day story would, so definitely it's a little bit harder to read. I am really enjoying kind of getting the origin for a lot of the pop culture references and other kind of spin-offs or adaptations that have occurred from Dracula. Don't even know how I didn't know that Van Helsing was an actual original character from Dracula. Thought it was something that was just made up for further iterations. I've also been continuing on in my reread of the Green Rider series. I'm currently reading the 6th book, Firebrand, by Kristen Britton. This is probably only my 3rd time rereading this book. It's not one I have reread kind of as much, as I tend to kind of reread the series as the next book is released. This is more a book that I've been putting on in the background if I've been working on kind of any like Canva documents or kind of any spreadsheets, because it's something I can listen to and not have to focus on as much to retain. So I'm also able to read it at, or listen to it at a relatively higher than normal speed. The other book that I haven't made any progress in this month is The Night and the Moth. So definitely I do not have any excuse. I am at the 65% mark in this book, less than 5 hours left of the audiobook. I've absolutely been loving the characters and loving the gothicness of this and just the vibes, and love Rory, love our main character Sybil or Six, but I don't know, there's just something that's keeping me from picking it up. When I do pick it up, I'm absolutely loving it and absolutely devouring it and don't want to put it down. But the moment I put it down, I don't want to pick it back up. So it's definitely an interesting experience, especially for a book that, at least in the beginning, I thought I was going to rate this 6 stars, and yet I've been reading it since mid-August. So definitely something is keeping me from continuing. Hopefully I can push through and get this done relatively soon, but the last book I'm currently reading is Shadow Kissed by Rochelle Mead. This is the 3rd book in the Vampire Academy series. Trying to finish up book 3 and book 4 before the live discussion happens. I am enjoying myself so far. I am only at about the 16% mark. At this point, our main character, Rose, she is undergoing kind of a trial in that she has to guard a student for a 6-week time period as part of kind of her training and learning experience. And during this time frame, teachers are kind of staging attacks that are going on, and lovely Rose did not get assigned to the person she thought she was going to. So it's definitely been interesting so far. As always, it reads quickly, it's relatively bingeable, and it's something that is fun to kind of put on and listen when I don't want to have to think too much. It has, like, it definitely has some good world building, and it definitely builds on the world building with each individual book, but it's not a high fantasy or an epic fantasy where there's really dense world building that you have to really focus for. Here's Mr. Bean, and he hopes you have a wonderful rest of your week. Bye.